Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Class of 2025 graduation ceremony.
Please note the location of the exits on each side and in the back of the fenced-in area.
At this time, I'd like to invite the audience to please rise and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please remain standing for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Hello and good evening. I would like to welcome the members of the Board of Education, Dr. Cook, our Central Office Administrators, Mr. Salutari, Mr. Bodner, Mr. Farrell, and Mrs. Witcher, faculty, staff, parents, guardians, and especially the graduating class of 2025 from Daniel Hand High School. Wow, look at us. I cannot believe the same class that was once having dance parties in the Brown School cafeteria is now graduating high school. It feels like just yesterday we were trying to find a yellow shirt to wear to our first class colors day, hoping a senior would get a speck of blue paint on us. And now remains of blue paint from our own senior picnic stain the school walls. Apologies to the custodians. The bridge went from being an intimidating walkway that we would only cross if we had someone with us to a hideout from class when we wanted to be with our friends. I think it's safe to say that when we first started our high school careers, at least one adult told us that the next 4 years would fly by. It's also probably safe to say that we all brushed that off. Well, I am here to formally state that it is in fact true. And as Coach Lecky said to me last week, don't we all wish it would slow down just a bit? She also reminded me that, unfortunately, we cannot slow anything down. But what we can do is appreciate and enjoy every moment that we have left together. As I started writing this speech, I took some time to reflect on the past 4 years. I thought about the number of beach routes driven, hours spent in the library, probably talking more than studying, and cafeteria cookies eaten. Then I began to wonder how one can condense the most formative 4 years of a young person's life into just a few memories or learned lessons to be shared in a speech. I realized that putting a numerical value on this time simply doesn't do it justice. What truly reflects its value are the lasting relationships we have all built with one another. The lifelong friendships many of us have cherished since kindergarten, and the new bonds formed over the past 4 years that will always feel like home. Since the beginning of our time at Brown, with our full grade together, we've been a tight-knit class. Taking a walk through Hand, this is evident all around. In the laughter coming from the bridge, the friendly smiles and hellos in the hallways, the pictures of a class and their teacher from homecoming or prom posted on the Google Classroom stream, and the clumps of friendships or teammates in the hallways during passing periods. Our relationships with one another have been the foundation of years of happy memories and growth. These relationships are what make it so hard to leave. And of course, we cannot forget the teachers who have become our role models and biggest supporters. Take Senora Golly drowning in Will McGuire's hockey jersey on the day of the Guilford game. Miss Joyner in the stands cheering at nearly every boys and girls lacrosse game. She has the two most important ones coming up. And Mr. Barnett and Miss L in the student section at every home football game. These are just 3 examples of the unwavering support that the teachers at hand have given us. Although many of us may be leaving, the town of Madison isn't going anywhere, nor are the bonds with the friends and classmates sitting around you. These bonds will serve to keep us connected to our hometown no matter where we travel. So, make sure to stay in touch, and remember, there's no way to slow time down, so enjoy and appreciate every minute. Thank you.
I didn't tell my parents I was doing this, so surprise, guys. Okay. As I stand here today, I'm left to wonder what authors think when they write the words "the end." I wonder if it acts as a means of comfort for the reader, as if to say we can breathe now and take a moment before life steals the air from our lungs again. Last is a funny word. 4 letters are supposed to encompass 18 years. 18 years of first day of school photos taken in the same place each time. 18 years of cramming in late, last-minute essays when we thought we had more time. 4 letters of sports games and Crayola markers that have since dried up, and 4 letters that are left to represent our class together, now that the class of 2025's book has shut. I never understood why parents and teachers would look at kids and say they grow up so fast. I didn't understand why they'd wished we'd make it last, because in the moment, it wasn't 18 years of late night essays. It was just one night. Each game and competition had one after the other, and if we lost, we could say the next one will really put up a fight. You didn't need to think about the word last, because you were always thinking about the word now, always asking how to get through the week ahead, how much time dedicated to practice and projects you could allow. No, you only think about the word last when all of a sudden it stands alone, all by itself. No practice, no game, no competition. We are left adding one last trophy onto the shelf. You step back and realize suddenly there's a whole timeline full of highs and lows, a handful of picture frames with your first day of school photos, piles of chemistry notes that you've been meaning to throw into a bonfire, and a stack of medals growing dust that you might find again in an old box after you retire. When our time here, 50 years from now, becomes the stories we recite, when our time is captured in the plaques in school hallways and in the trophies in the glass cases, we will look back smiling, hearing the laughter and memories echo into the night, look back to recall the names of best friends and remember their faces. But we're here today, writing the words "the end," aren't we, for this chapter of our lives? We've crossed the finish line. We've hit submit. We cannot go back and change what we have done. We can only change the way we see it. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to take a moment and to be proud. You are stronger than the heaviest weight that has pulled you down, and you have gained the courage to be loud. Let yourself recognize that you have made it this far. You have overcome struggles that you were once too scared to face, and in doing so, you are still here standing. Last is a funny word, but class of 2025, here we are at our high school graduation. That's a first. First is a funny word too, because in a couple of months, for the first time, some of us will be living on our own. For the first time, we won't say "love you" as we rush off trying not to be late for first period. And for the first time, the short goodbyes written into our yearbook, "See you next year, hags," they will be replaced by friends and teachers now fully grasping the emotion bittersweet. They will be replaced by people now trying to sum up the words "please." Remember me, remember us, remember this. But more than that, please, remember this place and the memories you made here. Remember the people you made them with. And remember how deep down, we are still that same curious, wide-eyed freshmen we were 4 years ago. We are still that 10-year-old, terrified of the first day of middle school, and we are still that 6-year-old boarding the school bus for the first time ever. This day is for the seniors, yes, 18 and ready to fly out into this wide, wide world, but this day is also to every single previous version of them, who woke up and gave their all for the past 18 years as their stories unfurled. This day is to the parents, it is to the family and friends who supported us, took care of us, even when they were also taking care of themselves. And it is to the teachers who taught us more than formulas and concepts, but kindness. They supported us and believed in us in the moments when we may have not believed in ourselves. Oscar Wilde once said, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all." So to all the seniors, through all your firsts and lasts, I encourage you to live. Live thoroughly. Live defiantly. Live fully. Live not because you know you will succeed, but because you know you have the power, the strength, the bravery, and the courage to keep going even if you don't. And live because first and last will come and go, but the love, the memories, and the friendships you make from them, they will last you a lifetime. Thank you so much, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty and staff, honored guests, regular guests, and of course, the exceptionally attractive class of 2025. To be candid with you all, when I was first asked to write this speech, I said yes way too confidently. At the time, I figured, how hard could it be? But once I sat down to begin, I realized that I had no idea what to say. Not because our class is awful or anything, though that would have made for some great material, but because we don't exactly have one giant unifying memory. Sure, we had our moments, like the epic senior prank where a few intrepid souls decided to strip their shirts off, soak the second floor hallway, and then proceed to belly slide across it after being explicitly told not to. Or our really fun senior trip to Lake Compounds, thank you class officers and advisors, but nothing really remarkable. You know, then I realized, with this opportunity came the power to force an entire audience through another COVID speech. But upon further reflection, I figured rage baiting probably wasn't the most appropriate way to celebrate such a special day. So, yes, I'm a hero. No, I'm not expecting too many of you to say it out loud. But if anything unites us as a class, it's the myriad of hardships we have collectively been forced to endure. Like our Wellness Wednesdays being replaced by advisory or some other random event that just perfectly fell on a Wednesday. But hey, at the very least, advisory did teach us valuable life skills, like coping with the loss of Wellness Wednesday. We also had to deal with the ethical concerns surrounding ChatGPT. From freshman through mid-senior year, we were grinding. We pushed ourselves toward excellence, maximizing our potential, not just as students, but as full, well-rounded individuals. And then the period of regression coined senioritis hit, as was expected. But here's the thing, our senioritis was different, because nobody prepared us for a burnout so bad that we couldn't even muster the strength to copy ChatGPT's answers, let alone actually do the work ourselves. Do you have any idea how humbling that is? To lack the energy to fake productivity? And apparently, the senioritis from the class of 25 was infectious this year, spreading far beyond just the students. Take our very own Mr. Nye, where are you? There he is! Who, despite being tall, handsome, funny, amicable, charismatic, is shockingly unorganized. When I started teaching at Hand in '99, he had the absolute pleasure of having my father, Jonathan Walter, as one of his first students. So naturally, I figured we'd share this deep generational bond. So deep, in fact, that he asked me and a few friends to perform in a talent show with him. And don't let him tell you otherwise. He likes to claim we begged him, but as far as I'm concerned, the truth is negotiable, Nye, and I've got the mic. Anyway, after learning our music and carving out time during an exceedingly chaotic stretch of senior year, this audacious man decides to flake less than a week before the performance. The thing is, Nye loves to complain about how incredibly busy he is, how constantly overwhelmed he feels. But what he conveniently leaves out is that he is astonishingly incapable of basic organization. Funny enough, it was only until after bailing on us that he began to even keep track of his weekly commitments. So honestly, Nye, you're welcome. I'm glad we were finally able to help you discover calendars. You know what? I get it. We all have our flaws. Most people have flaws. Although, if we're being honest, I spent the last 4 years proving that punctuality is certainly not one of my strengths. School at Daniel Hand started at 7:25 every year, and so did my streak of not being there at 7:25. And what would come of this excessive tardiness? We'll call down to the office from Mr. Bodner. And for those of you who've never had the privilege, let me assure you, being disciplined by a former UPenn football commit is exactly as dry and intimidating as it sounds. And what would result from that? Saturday detentions. Because nothing solves being late 5 days a week like making it 6. But beyond what resembled this profound irresponsibility was a mess of things that often felt impossible to explain. And instead of asking, people assumed. Of course, assumptions are easy. They spare the effort it takes to deal with nuance. Although that never sat right with me. How quickly people can talk about you without ever actually talking to you. That's why the most important parts of a person usually aren't the ones you see on the surface. Someone might seem lazy because they're always late, or quiet because they're always shy. But more often, people are simply trying their best to make it through the day under everything that they're carrying. For me, a lot of that came in the form of anxiety, the kind that messes with your sleep, your focus, your ability to show up, literally and mentally. And I'm sharing this because I know that I wasn't the only one. I know that a lot of us were dealing with things that no one ever saw. Still are. And when people don't have the full story, they start to write their own. Suddenly, you're hearing things about yourself that aren't just wrong, they're hurtful. Yet by the time you hear them, someone's already decided they're true. The sad reality is that not everyone's going to understand that. Not everyone is going to appreciate you for you. But in the end, the people who matter most are the ones who make the effort to listen. There's a reason we hear things like, don't judge a book by its cover over and over again. They sound simple, sure, but living by them, that takes tremendous effort. Which brings me back to what it means to be a united class. Because, despite our rapidly declining class size, a lot of you didn't know me. A lot of us didn't know each other. But that's okay because we all shared space. We shared time. And even without knowing what the person next to us was going through, we were all still going through it together. As we leave Daniel Hand, I encourage you all to bring that awareness with you. Be a little slower to judge and a little more willing to understand. Ask questions. Be curious. Gracefulness. It matters. So congratulations, class of 2025. Whatever comes next, I hope you carry curiosity, compassion, and openness, because the world is full of incredible stories. And sometimes the best thing we can do is just listen. Unless it's 7:25 in the morning, then I totally get it.
Hi guys, I didn't trip this time. To all the eager parents, dedicated teachers, side character siblings, very well-behaved pets, honorable guests, I think Nathaniel already said this, but dishonorable guests, and most importantly, the main characters, the class of 2025. How are we feeling? If you don't know me, I'm Cora Davia, and I'm the Salutatorian for the hand class of 2025. I'm kind of nervous because, I tripped last year at the Spring National Honor Society induction, and I got nominated for most likely to trip up the stairs to graduation. When I was first drafting my speech on the car ride over here, like any desperate senior, I began by researching best graduation speeches on Google. Well, I didn't get an exact formula for the best speech ever to exist. What I did get was about 42 resultant pages of Google videos titled Best and Funniest Graduation Speech. The bar was set high. What I noticed from watching way too many of those videos was that each had an overarching theme or message. Most used a well-known character to deliver them, like Rory from Gilmore Girls, Dory from Finding Nemo, or Shrek from Shrek. And while all of these characters have their personal mantras that summarize their own perspective on life, I couldn't just find one idea that reflected my own perspective. It wasn't just their one scene with their one quote from their 1 second of the movie that really encapsulated us as a class. It wasn't just their one mantra delivering moment that made these characters' stories meaningful. It was their journey as a whole. According to John Campbell's theory of the hero's journey, the one we learned about in middle school, these characters' progression can be viewed as a common pattern across literature today. In other words, their journeys stay consistent across their differing stories. Though important lessons such as Rory's, Dory's, and Shrek's may have arisen from these journeys, the essential progression of a modern-day work of fiction lies in how it was formatted, by the hero's journey. In our time at hand, important lessons have also arisen. I think our own hero's journey has shaped us into who we are today. It wasn't just one moment that led us to grow, as these characters may make it seem. It was our experience as a whole. So here's Daniel Hand as our hero's journey. 1. The first stage of the hero's journey is stasis. This is the stage that the hero is before the journey takes place. This was Nemo before he needed to be found, Rory before she went to Chilton. For us, this was the sweet time before high school. Yeah, where there were no AP essays, parking lot car dinks, sorry about that, or submitting assignments at 11:59 p.m. Life was good, although we somehow missed having a playground at Brown, which would have made life even better. 2. The second stage of the hero's journey is their call to adventure. This was when the world signifies to the hero that they need to get a move on and do something. For me, this is when the world, my mom, signified that I needed to wake up because school starts in 20 minutes. Love you, Mom. 3. The third stage is the hero's refusal of the call to action. As seniors, we all fell victim to a disease worse than COVID, senioritis. Our refusal of the call was in snoozing our alarms and then proceeding to say there was a lot of traffic to our first period teachers, even when we were right on time. Miss Johnson, if you're out there, that's not at all why I was late to AP Psych every day. Number 4 is meeting the mentor. No hero goes on their journey alone, and we certainly didn't either. Our mentors came in all forms throughout our journey, our parents who packed our lunches and made sure we didn't forget any college applications, our teachers who taught us not just math, comp sci, or Shakespeare, but how to show up, how to keep going, and how to find ourselves, and our friends who came through when we needed it the most, like cramming right before a calc test. To all of the adults who we passed in the hallways of Daniel Hinn High School, from teachers to security guards, custodians, and social workers, thank you for all you have done in our hallways and for getting us to today. To all of our friends, thank you for always having our backs. To our parents and grandparents, thank you for always being there to support us and make us better. 5. Number 5 is crossing the threshold. In literature, this is when the hero crosses into an unfamiliar but new world. I'd say we crossed the threshold when we became upperclassmen. As freshmen on Spirit Days, we used to be scared of getting blue paint everywhere. This year, we went crazy in being the ones painting everyone in the senior lot. It was a rite of passage. 6. The 6th stage is called Tests, Allies, and Enemies, and it's the rather lengthy stage where the hero is being tested and creates allies or enemies with those he's met thus far. For us, we weren't just tested by AP US History multiple choice quizzes, but by friendships, sleep, and again, 11:59 p.m. deadlines. We found allies who've had our back since preschool. Looking at you, Eve, who still answered 2 a.m., do you understand this calc problem questions? We've met our fair share of enemies too, group project slackers, and of course, every unit physics test that made us question both the laws of the universe and our life choices. 7. The 7th stage signifies the hero's lowest point, the most critical challenge yet. Parents, I think we can all agree that college application season was no joke. From October to January, I was running solely on 2 shots of espresso, a broken Chromebook, and the faint hope of seeing an application submitted confetti screen on Common App. 8. Apotheosis is the 8th stage of the hero's journey, and it signifies new understandings, or the moment that something finally clicked for the hero. I was talking to Senora Guzzi a few days ago, and she said something that struck me. You are where you are because that's where you're meant to be. It took me a while to realize, but maybe through the turmoil of UConn exams and AP courses, challenging tests, crazy senior pranks, sports games, and even tripping down the stairs, maybe we found who we are, learned to be resilient, and discovered our callings. 9. So here we are. Stage 9 is called the ultimate boon, and it's when the hero finally receives what they initially went out to find. For us, we're in sight of our high school diploma. It signifies 720 school days at hand, 2,160 days in Madison Public Schools, and about 1 trillion Google Docs revisions in 1 sheet of paper. This is what we've sought out for. This is the culmination of our entire high school experience. We've earned this. 10. Number 10 is the hero's refusal to return. To all of my high school teachers, I'm going to ask for one final 5-minute extension. This time it's for a whole high school experience. Leaving here is hard. It's hard to imagine that 4 years at hand and 12 years at Madison Public Schools, 13, is coming to a close. When I first entered Madison Public Schools system, back when all kindergartners went to school at Jeffrey and there was no talk of a brand new Neck River Elementary School, I remember walking by a bulletin board and staring up at the bubble letters, numbered 2025. I thought they were a random string of symbols with no possible meaning. That's how far away it seemed. It seemed like we would never get to today. But here we are, and I don't know if I'm ready to say goodbye just yet. 11. But ready or not, stage 11, the road back home has already begun. In thinking about it, the stage isn't really a road back at all, but it's one propelling us forward. The class of 2025 has begun its journey where we can be anything we set our minds to. We've come so far. The hero's journey has changed us, and now it's time for us to change the world. 12. Stage 12 is the resurrection. It's the stage where the hero learned
will what the hero learned throughout their journey proves essential for a later part of their life. Here's a simple truth. After Daniel Hand, we will continue to be challenged, whether it's by another tough exam, a job rejection, or a season where you cannot find the hope within you to win. But this is what I want you to remember. Class of 2025, remember what today proves. We already know how to persevere. From every quiz we thought we failed, we learned. From every injury we thought we'd never come back from, we came back stronger. From every project that looked impossible at midnight, we, in the wise words of Kendrick Moore, got it done. Class of 2025, remember what you've learned from high school. Your value isn't defined by a single outcome, a single moment. It's not defined by the fact that you tripped. It's that you've been able to get up after each stumble. 13, the final stage in the hero's journey, our journey, is the hero's return with the elixir and becoming the master of two worlds. Class of 2025, what's inside the elixir that we bring home? It's a tablespoon of resilience, a pinch of empathy, and finally, it's a heaping scoop of purpose. Because the truth hiding in every hero's journey is this. The journey was never just about the hero. The elixir is meant to heal villages and rebuild kingdoms. In our case, the elixir will make the world a kinder, smarter, and braver place than we found it. To my fellow graduates, I have one request. Write sequels worth binge-watching. Let failure become your plot twist. Let kindness be your trademark, and let gratitude roll over the credits every single night. Compete not against every kid in the country, but against the quiet question, have I grown since yesterday? And if somewhere along the way you trip, because let's face it, I probably will, laugh, stand tall, and remember what you hear right now. Class of 2025, tighten those tassels, straighten your heroic capes, yes, capes, and step boldly across the stage. The next volumes of our lives are wide open, waiting for marks only we can leave. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Eve Minikeen, and I am the Daniel Hand class of 2025 Valedictorian. I want to thank a few people before I start. My family. Thank you, Mom, Dad, and Faith. You were my lifeline throughout my 18 years on this earth. My mom checked in with me before and after every exam and had nothing but complete confidence in me. My dad for talking about physics with me at the dinner table, and my sister for keeping me up to date on all the latest music. Thank you to my large, supportive Italian family sitting in the crowd and coming to every milestone of my life. Thank you to my inseparable friends who listened to me for years about wanting to be valedictorian. Thank you for the best 4 years French class, Madame. Thank you to all of my classmates for being bold and curious, to all of my teachers for inspiring my love of learning. And it wouldn't be a true graduation without thanking Mr. Bowler and congratulating him on a well-deserved retirement. He was my mentor and teacher throughout my 4 years at Hand and gave me advice in math, science, and just general life advice. He is one of the easiest people to talk to in the whole school, and I think I speak for all of us when I say my high school experience would not be the same without him. Class of 2025, we shared the adventure of growing up together. I have been wishing to speak to you at graduation today almost every day for the past 7 years. The hard part is taking those years of memories and putting it into a 5-minute speech. As most of you already know, I am a typically shy person, and doing this speech definitely scares me a lot. I thought to close out my responsibilities at Daniel Hand that I should do something that scares me even more. And that is to share with you all of my fears. These are not significant fears, but little fears that sneak into everyday life. I'm not going to call them fears. The word fear has a negative connotation, and a fear is not a weakness. Fear means we are about to start an adventure.
So instead, I'm going to reference these moments of uncertainties not only as fears, but as adventures. I think I can relate to most underclassmen when I say that this particular class seems the most intimidating. Therefore, I'm going to start with the adventure of physics. Needless to say, I am stronger in math and science courses. And something that always drew me to math was the phrase that I heard my 7th grade math teacher, Mrs. Sullivan, say, which is, mathematicians are lazy. Initially, I was confused, but over the years, I learned that mathematicians find tricks and shortcuts for complex problems. To put this simply, if we had to count every tiny square inside of every shape, instead of using the area formulas, Mrs. Sayan would send us all back to Jeffrey School. And going into senior year, I thought that physics would be very similar. Yet to tackle a problem, we have to almost start by dropping an apple like Isaac Newton to discover what gravitational acceleration is, and then somehow use a trig identity. And after all of this, we could finally figure out if that monkey is really going to catch that banana. And here I was thinking physics was going to be more efficient. I began to realize that life is sometimes more like physics than it is like math. We are going to be exposed to situations where either we won't have shortcuts, we are starting behind, or we must start entirely from scratch. Life is not about finding the quickest solution. It is about facing the messy and complicated moments with the courage to move forward when nothing feels certain. We have to embrace the originality and discomfort that comes with each new challenge. Be creative enough that we earn the right to be lazy. Before this year, I never considered joining a sports team. That is surprising because this class has so many decorated athletes. Tennis, gymnastics, and track recently won their championships, and many athletes are committed to continue their athletic career in college. Field hockey also went undefeated, but I guess that was last year, sorry Faith. However, with more free time on my hands during my senior year and a little bit of convincing from my friends, I decided to join the sailing team. Initially, I imagined my best friends and I with our hair blowing in the wind, cool splashes of water on our face, and our skin developing a bright new tan. This vision, unfortunately, was proved wrong on the very first day of practice. And so began the adventure of sailing. To set the scene, it was 41 degrees Fahrenheit, gusts of wind up to 35 miles per hour, and for a couple of people, an unexpected capsize. For those of you who have never sailed before, my friends and I like to call it 2 words: swim team. As the team continued to practice, I began to grow my relationship with sailing into one of love and not one of hate. I have always heard the phrase, enjoy the moment, and sailing taught me what that really means. It doesn't mean that you have to love every second. It means that you have to dig deep and find something worth holding on to. For me, that was my best friends, the inseparable people I mentioned earlier. We bonded over learning how to rig a boat and sharing our gloves during race day and listening to new technical terminology I don't even think Google knew. Sometimes the hardest parts of an adventure are only manageable because of who we have next to us. The next adventure began right before prom. The days leading up to prom were spent staying awake way too late at night, my room illuminated by the bright glow of my computer, and my eyes glued to the 20 tabs open in front of me. I was not doing homework, I was searching for a dress. That was the hardest assignment of all of high school. The real adventure was not prom itself, but prom living up to the vision I once fantasized as a young girl. Now, with senior prom just a few weeks past, the years of waiting and wondering are finally over. We will never again plan for what time we are meeting at Christie's for brunch, when to invite our parents to the photo shoot at the beach, or figure out which house we are getting ready at. It's funny, our neon prom dresses became more neutral, and our 2016 prom Pinterest boards never actually happened. As I mentioned earlier, the adventure came from wanting prom to be exactly as I planned it. I only later realized that it is the anticipation and excitement itself that makes the memories memorable. So dream big, dream so deeply about something that it not being perfect is more scary than it not getting done at all. Often, the anticipation and the love you pour into something is what makes it so beautiful in the first place. So dream big and set large goals. I would like to share one last memory of hearing the final bell ring out. Initially, I thought I would be sad thinking about how 4 years ago today, I'd get on one of those buses and drive home looking forward to a next year at Daniel Hand High School. Instead, all I felt was happiness. I think that one of the best qualities graduates from Daniel Hand have is the feeling of being excited and ready for the future. We are stepping into the world with a strong foundation and a memorable childhood together. And without any doubt, I know that our futures are bright because of how hardworking we already proved ourselves to be. Graduation should not just be focusing on the last years of our life. Graduation should be about celebrating what's to come, and most of all, embracing our new adventures. However, the lessons that I learned today are not something that I need to teach to all of the students in the class of 2025. The class of 2025 is one of the smartest, most fierce, and most driven classes. As you receive your diploma, remember the 5 a.m. alarms you set to study and ultimately slept through, the constant balance between sports practice and schoolwork, and the foreign language conversations we all had in the lab. Our adventures developed from taking our masks off freshman year to understanding 1850s utopian societies and Gauss's law. These adventures will only continue to grow. We have a bright future because we are breaking down barriers. For the last 12 years of my life, I realized that I am living among some of the most promising people in our country's future. From triple sport athletes, founders of clubs, emerging artists, and singers, our class is full of people with talent and grit. Despite distractions from ourselves and the world around us telling us who to be, we continued to rise. From the class of 2025 to the world, we are arriving at our next adventures with fire and resilience. As I embark on my next adventure in the great city of New York, I will leave you with this final quote from my favorite movie, Up. Thanks for the adventure. Now go have a new one.
Good evening. I'm pleased to be here at this special event as we celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of the class of 2025. I would like to thank the numerous people involved in planning this special event, including the First Congregational Church for allowing us to use this beautiful location, the high school administrators, the main office staff, the school counseling staff for their work in preparing for this event, our outstanding custodial crew for their efforts and support this evening, our security staff for their important work in ensuring a safe and successful event, our music department,
including the members of our band, orchestra, and concert choir for their performance this evening, and a special thank you to Nora, Elizabeth, Nathaniel, Cora, and Eve for preparing and delivering such outstanding speeches. I always look forward to their messages our seniors share during this event, and they certainly did not disappoint, so thank you all. I would be remiss if I did not wish Tim Ballantyne, David Bowler, and Sue Greenvall health and happiness in their retirement. Their departure from the education profession and Daniel Hand High School will undoubtedly be a loss. We will miss them. I hope they enjoy the next exciting phase of their lives. My final round of recognition goes to the Daniel Hand High School faculty and staff. I've been at Hand for 12 years, and I am truly impressed with the quality of this talented group of educators. Being an educator is a challenging and demanding job. I am honored to work with such an exceptional faculty and staff who consistently prioritize the best interest of our students. There is no more important profession than that of a teacher. Great teachers inspire, motivate, and plant seeds of knowledge that grow and last a lifetime. Daniel Hand High School is staffed with great teachers, and their influence can never be erased. I would like to publicly thank the entire Daniel Hand faculty and staff for their student-centered efforts and commitment to the education profession, and most importantly, to our students. The combined efforts of our faculty and staff, along with those of our students, are the primary reason why Daniel Hand High School was recognized by the United States Department of Education as a 2024 National Blue Ribbon School. This is an incredible national recognition that the whole community should take pride in. And now on to the class of 2025. It feels like it was just yesterday that you entered high school as freshmen. I'm sure you remember my encouragement to make the most of your time in high school, as it goes by faster than anyone can imagine. I hope you have many positive memories and take pride in your accomplishments. You faced a variety of challenges, made numerous decisions, excelled academically, impressed us with your fine arts creations and performances, and competed with determination and pride in athletic events. The entire community is incredibly proud of every one of you. I have genuinely enjoyed our many interactions over the past 4 years, and I commend you for your efforts. As you move on from high school, I encourage you to let go of the past, and no matter how difficult things may be, try to find something to enjoy about each day. We are often and sometimes harshly reminded that tomorrow is promised to none of us. I appreciate the opportunity to address our graduates and guests at this event, as I aim to share some valuable insights and offer something to ponder. The first comes from an excerpt from Daily Wisdom titled, "Don't Postpone Joy." Many people fall into the trap of believing that happiness comes only after achieving something. They think, if I reach this goal, then I'll be happy. But that mindset creates an endless cycle of if-then scenarios. Each time one goal is achieved, there's always another to chase, and the promise of happiness keeps getting postponed further away. Instead of waiting for happiness to come after your achievements, find joy in the journey. Goals often make us so future-focused that we forget to live fully in the present. The truth is, joy is found in the now, not in some distant moment after you win. Don't postpone joy. Embrace the present and enjoy the process. Choose joy right now, where you are with what you have, while you go after everything you want. While attending the Blue Ribbon Recognition Conference in Washington, D.C. earlier this year, I participated in a breakout session with other administrators to discuss the essential characteristics we believe are necessary for success in this rapidly changing world. After an extensive discussion, there was consensus that adaptability was of utmost importance. This prompted me to reflect on a famous quote from Will Rogers, which reads, "Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there." This quote emphasizes the importance of staying active and moving forward even when you're on the right path. To be adaptable, you must be able to adjust to new conditions and be willing to grow. I found this next bit of information online titled Growth is a Lifelong Process, which shares the following about growth. It'll take patience some days and pain during others. Some days will be filled with pure joy and positive development, while others will seem like a pile of bricks have formed in your heart. This is growth, a gradual, bumpy, and courageous process that will continue for your entire life. So please don't get angry at yourself when you break apart, stumble, or make a mistake. Please don't tear yourself apart for taking a rest and starting something over again. It takes a lot of energy to endure the challenges of personal growth, truly. So be patient with yourself and remember that you're doing the best you can. I thought the following quote from F.M. Alexander applied to growth and being adaptable. It reads, "People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures." You are about to transition to something very different from moving on to the next grade with your classmates. The anticipation of this transition may evoke self-doubt and worry, but it also can and should be exciting. I encourage you to maintain a positive mindset and embrace all this incredible world has to offer. There will undoubtedly be times when it's challenging to stay motivated. Consider the following suggestions I found online that may help you when you're not feeling very motivated. As I read these, listen to the connections to growth and adaptability. Curiosity is key. Never stop asking questions and exploring the world around you. Empathy is your superpower. Understanding others' perspectives builds stronger connections. Learn from mistakes. They're stepping stones, not roadblocks. Embrace growth. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward is a reason to appreciate your journey. Balance is beautiful. Prioritize well-being alongside your goals. Rest, connect, and recharge. Embrace the unknown. Life is full of surprises. Be open to new experiences and possibilities. Leave the world a little better. Contribute positively, big or small, to make a difference. Never stop learning. The world is constantly changing, so keep expanding your knowledge. Kindness is contagious. Spread positivity and watch it ripple. And the last one, believe in the power of yet. You haven't achieved it yet, but with perseverance, you will. As you set goals, plan for the future, and strive to stay motivated, consider this quote from an unknown author that reads, "No matter your age, you will always wish you started younger, but today is the youngest you'll ever be." Keep in mind that talent may offer an advantage, but in the long run, commitment, hard work, and adaptability will ultimately outpace the talented person who does not seek improvement. Remember that hard work is a choice, attitude is a choice, discipline is a choice, doing extra is a choice, and excellence is a choice. Members of the class of 2025, you have gathered here this evening because of your resilience, your ability to persevere, and your unwavering commitment to success. I am confident that there's no challenge you can't overcome. I encourage you to set ambitious goals, learn from your mistakes, stay motivated, be adaptable and willing to grow, and most importantly, find joy in and appreciate every day. As you embark on this next journey, you will undoubtedly encounter numerous choices and decisions. Reflect carefully on these to ensure they guide you closer to your goals. Enjoy life, appreciate all you have, and seize every opportunity to make this world a better place. On behalf of the current and former faculty and staff of the Madison Public Schools, I want to congratulate you on reaching this significant milestone in your life. Daniel Hanna is an outstanding school thanks to its faculty, staff, and of course you, the class of 2025. I wish you nothing but the best and hope your future greatly exceeds your highest expectations. It's been an honor to serve as your principal. At this time, I'll leave you with the final high school quote of the day by Neil Gaiman. It reads, "The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. Embrace the unique journey ahead, continue to learn, and always be authentically you." Thank you. And Dr. Cook, at this time, I have the honor and privilege of presenting to you all 188 members of the class of 2025 who have successfully fulfilled the academic requirements of the state of Connecticut and the Madison Board of Education and are entitled to receive their diplomas. Aiden Jonah Chorney. John Daniels. Nora Maureen Hughes. Justin Lee. William James McGuire. Shaylin Vinod Pathy. Adam James Signorello. Lily Elizabeth Vest. Aiden Thomas Vergolto. Oliver Cunningham Wilker. Unable to attend this evening, Zachary Abels. Anthony Albino. Aaron Michael Aaliyah. Isabel Alvarado. Cadence Risco Amendola. Brooke Julia Anderson. Reagan Anderson. Jack Ethan Andren. Julian Ayala. Ernesto Govea Barosa. Juliana Bell.
Andrew Benson. Melissa Isabel Bernal Garcia. Claire Berry. Abigail Lynn Bishop. Jonathan A. Black. Emery Bova. Nathan Boyd. Gavin Brogy. Orion Eric Bruckner. Cooper K. Burke. Emily Grace Butler. William Butler. Kylie Danielle Butch. Paul Joseph Calandrelli. Lila Eleanor Kalia Bogan. Ralph Kenneth Carter. Christina Rose Case. Trevor Cash. Aiden Wayne Casper. William Ty Cassidy. Elise Catalfo. Aaron Cerny.
Riki Shimoro Bendanya.
Neha Maria Chandy. Samantha Ruth Shamaki. Braden Clark. Cameron Lee Cohen. Georgia Cohen. Olivia Consiglio. Jane Constable. Amanda Grace Corrick. Caroline Frances Courtney. Lucille Cummings. Martha Cursaru. Catherine M. Davern. Cora Eve Davia. Obed Joshua Diaz. Owen Thomas Donahue. Braden Scarston Dooley. Carrie Edwards. Sophie Louise Elder. Maya Isabella Esposito. Ella Melody Evans. Morgan Lily Flickinger.
Gianna Foligno. Blake Freeman. Kent Freeman. Margaret Ireland French. Julia Emily Gallo. Matthew James Gentile. Matthew Liam Gervais. Cameron Revel Hayward Garibian. Chris Glazer. Elena Grenier. Grace Emily Hall. Ethan A. Handy. Juliana Joy Hansen. Tatum R. Hansen. Jake Hansen. Arda Hetiboglu. John Healy. Ella Marie Helfrich. Matthew Holmes. Hadley Maxwell Howard. Michaela Ann Hummel. Ryan Peter Hustis. Darrell Love C. Ejimam.
Noah Taupin Izzo. Eli Simon Jacob. Luke Jacobson. Grace Catherine Johnson. Mason Johnson. Konstantinos Karathanasis. Serene Kim. Isabella Clawstrike. Owen Jacob Kozak. Griffin James Kubicki. Abigail Kustra. Alexis Rose Cuspa. Marla Vermel Lafferty. Margot Jane Langell. Piper Lee. Nicholas LeBlanc. Aniela Therese Lesnick. Jeffrey Liang. Benjamin Lind. Abigail Lombardi. Megan Kennedy Luby. Shay Luby.
Truman Luby. Antoinette Tong Lowy. Noah Lynch. Nicholas Patrick Lyons. Rob Christopher Marchese. Michael Gaetano Marino. Samuel Joseph Markovitz. Chloe Ann Mara. Morgan J. Mastrobatisto. Michael Anthony Mazzola. Aiden John McCormick. Miles McGettrick. Isabella Danielle McGrade. Matthew McManus. Cameron Josephine McParland. Sophie Ella Mervine Schiff. Griffin Metz. Jillian Millen. Lillian Mary Miller. Eve Minikeen. Alexander Munker. Allison Kathleen Mulhern.
Avery Nairn. Tyler James Narachi. Michaela Margaret Nielsen. Quinton Thomas O'Day. Peter Addington O'Hanlon Jr. Ella Bettina O'Malley. Unable to attend this evening, Amon Pantano. Mason Parcells. Bianca Pasquinelli. Paige Pirelli. Tyler Perry Hill. Daniel Lewis Pesh. Matthew Peterson. Ian Pearson. Jay Starren Pinover. Kenneth Sereno Pompili. Nicholas Bradford Pompili. Ariana Isabel Potter. Sierra Pruviza. Chloe Elizabeth Rockler. Kayla L. Remy. Hannah Suzanne Rich.
Jack Taylor Rickelman. Dale Ricker. Will Rode. Anthony Johan Roeda. Jack David Russo. Shay Ann Ryan. Michael Frederick Salvati. Abigail Claire Sherbin. Nia McKinley Scott. Morris Rufat Salmani. Joseph Seppi. Fletcher Maxwell Sharon. Ariana Consiglio Simo. Ethan James Skonechny. Isabel Freya Smethurst. Noelle Charlotte Soja. Hannah Vera Starin. Max Alexander Sebastian Stein. Matthew Roger Stella. Emma Beatrice Street. Stacy Joyce Tagni Kawate. Anthony Nathaniel Lennon Walter.
Bridget Waters. Inja Wheeler. Max Wheeler. Lucy White. Maeve Wiles. Deacon Wilkins. Carter Williams. Charles Arthur Wood III. Alexa Young. Caitlin Zagami. Rocco Zagami. Madeline Zerowesti.